Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And
let's play a game together. Alright, so
okay, guys.
let's be super upfront with this really fast. This is actually us re-recording the audio because we had a interesting fail that was me failing at existence. So it's alright. But, so what I was doing here was basically that I was going, hey, we need to get inside of that building. So I was trying to figure out how we get inside the building.
So basically, this episode is going to be different because this game auto-saves, and we can't, unlike other times we've lost our audio, just go and play this area again.
Unless I want to go back and play through all the hours that we've done so far. And
game.
I have to say, considering how busy we are, I was like, this would just be easier. So here we are, me trying to figure out what to do.
I kept telling my friend to light the fire, and my friend's like, no, if I light the fire, it'll chase them into the house. And I was like, okay, so you want to get into that house. And there was a lot of us discussing back and forth, like, okay, so how are you going to do it then?
So you need the odorous over there, and then you throw the fire, and then you keep them out of the house that way.
Yes.
You keep them locked between all of the lines of fire, of glistening, burning, brilliant, white-hot light that seems to boil them alive.
To be honest, I was fascinated that my friend even thought about going in the house, because it didn't occur to me like that the rats would have been, chased into the house, and I was like, good job you, that is foresight I don't have.
Well, that's because I've been playing it a little bit, and when you don't consider that they can go back in like we did on that other light puzzle, it's a bit of a pain in the butt. And it was very exciting to come in here and find some stuff, because I'm just like constantly struggling for supplies.
Oh my god,
like I know
it's
you
so
guys
bad.
have seen it where I've got on there and I'm like, I'm trying to actually get it so we can make it. And then
we also found a gift in here. All right.
She used to write all her letters here before sending them by pigeon. I can't leave it here. She was very attached to it.
I
think she would be touched that you
that
kept
she
it.
uses courier pigeon. I think it's really cute.
Also, again, it's one of those cool things about pigeons,
Right? I mean, pigeons are super neat. Okay, calamus, a piece of dried reed cut into a tip for writing. Once it ends, its end is soaked in ink. However essential to the transmission of knowledge, reading and writing are practiced only by a small elite, only members of the clergy and the most educated of citizens. The majority of books available depict the world from a Christian perspective, with alchemists being among the very few to describe a reality free from dogma. Honestly,
Yes.
I love reed pens. They're so much fun.
Right.
And they're very, very pretty and simple, but that's sort of like the, also like, a little bit of like the romanticization of like simple things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
People use them because they were just necessary.
Yeah, and it's also a thing that sometimes people do as a level of being like, well, clearly I'm better than you. But not always. Some people are really just like, I just engage in this thing, and this is a thing that I like more.
door.
I was like,
It
box.
is so weird to hear the characters actually talk. This is going to be the one time where we actually have game sound.
Yes, it'll be wild, because we can finally hear it.
Lantern.
Oh.
We must have used it to get the troops through.
Good idea. I'll have a clear shot.
Oh, God.
You can go back down.
Oh, and this was
Tell me
confusing
when
because I
you're ready.
didn't know how to set this one up.
Yeah, so this one was interesting because he's like, well, one, we can't hear the characters, so we have to pick up text in most versions of this. I was going to say, and so sometimes when you do like later, like when I go back and edit them, I'm like, oh, they were telling us what to do, and we just couldn't freaking hear it. But like,
I'm there.
this
Here we go.
experience of trying to move with him was a difficult
And
one.
I was like, I'm in the light. What do I do?
And then what?
And then like, what? He's like, I'm ready. You can go. And I was like, okay, I'm here. And then it was just like, nothing.
Nothing
And it was very
happened.
confusing.
It was like,
faux show.
yeah, look, rats.
This was also just sort of horrifying in its own way because you're like, oh, I have to trust this. Where the rats are just going to be like, let's bone you. And then I was going like, what do I do? But I'm in the light. What am I doing? Lucas!
And we really were like,
Damn it, Lucas! Damn it!
God damn it.
Do I need to set something on fire? Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing. I was like, it's not moving, because I was expecting that he was just going to start moving automatically.
And
but
you
then
have to
as you
walk with
discover
it.
is that you walk and the light just follows you. So
Which
that
is-
was not what I was used to in games at all. You really are supposed to basically figure out the timing
on me, alright?
of them going,
make it
swinging
without
back and forth, so that was really weird.
I'll say, that was an interesting one for both of us to figure out. My friend was just like, what are we doing?
It really sucks. Yeah, I was not having fun.
I thought it was interesting a number of times in this game how it implies that you have some kind of a health bar or something, because it can show you taking like your little icon taking flashing damage. When
Light
you
amounts of damage, yes.
When you have, a rat going at your toes.
And then it was like, okay, so I have the light there. Is he not going to come out? And then I was like, oh yeah, it's locked. And then you were actually like, well, what are you doing? And I was like, I have to go get the door. And I was like, the door is in. And then I was like, oh, I have to smack the door open.
And it was like you could have done the door from back there.
I
It
could
just
have.
wasn't shiny.
It
You gotta
was.
worry about it not being shiny.
Thank you.
Honestly,
And then
I
walking
love
back.
how the
Lucas,
gate just smashes
we're not
through you.
alone.
Right? It's awfully convenient, honestly.
I
Like, it's
have-
almost like you're a video game character, and this actually isn't reality.
I mean, one of the most terrifying experiences that I've had, like just the sort of like creeping horror things, has been when like my friend is attacking people or trying to defend against people, and the bodies
God.
just fall
still
through
alive.
Amicia. Ow. That was your
Help me.
toes. You lost them.
Yeah, I did. I lost toes, but again, nobody needs toes in this game.
Toes are not required. What's
Oh.
required is the safety of all humanity, I guess. How are you
Hello?
existing now?
Yes.
Tell me, how many of you are there?
Oh, it hurts. I don't want to die.
Oh.
Not like this.
Did you
Like
get
this?
away from the rats
You
somehow?
executed
I
my
don't know.
family. You deserve a painful death.
Please, have mercy.
Whoa.
Don't
I
you
was
ever
really just
use
like-
that word. I'm not going to get anything useful out of him.
Whoa. Amicia has gone
I was just
from,
like, I'm so
I am a
tired."
sad, scared child to I am a hardened murderer of people.
Right.
And I pointed out to my friend there that the light may need to go over just a tiny bit further for them to be able to get past the one light and to the next.
Yeah, but I was
But
like,
it doesn't
I can't
actually
move
go any
over.
further.
Yeah.
So it's just a get the rats out of the way. There's so many times where there's a lot of ways you can do this, but it's not always obvious which one to do. Such as moving the mats now that we have the odorous as well. Going, so am I supposed to be moving them with the odorous, or is there light to find, or is there a puzzle to solve that's different? Because I think in a lot of cases with this game, you could actually just move the rats using odorous or something, but that's not the ideal way to do it. It's a ridiculous.
Yeah, and that was at first I was like, I threw it too far.
Uh-huh.
Dang, I had to throw it much closer than that.
Say, especially with all the ridiculous like materials management, and it's you are now an alchemist.
I
for
am an
reasons.
alchemist. Hooray! I've
All
done
right,
it.
there we go. I love and also hate how it handles basically the reaction to the odorous, because it's
Who the hell are you?
because
The
it's
daughter of Robert and Beatrice de Roux.
wow.
I
No.
do.
Please. Please have mercy.
Shut
Why
up.
are they all screwed up? Did
I'm
someone
leaving
come
you
through here
to
and
your
attack them?
fate.
Huh?
Like, why are those two messed up? And they look like they're not dealing with like rat wounds, but like more like holding their belly a stab wound kind of thing.
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't think much about it before. I figure it's just the only thing they have. They made a couple of models that have that particular damage to just go, it's damage! You know what happened.
Right?
You know? So it's not like, you know, they were being eaten from the feet up.
Right. And they're sitting there holding their footies. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that basically it's sometimes like interesting the resource management in here, because a lot of the like reusable stuff you need to do constantly all the time everywhere. But then the stuff that does as for like crafting is a lot more difficult.
Right.
You're just like, I just never have enough cloth. It's really fortunate that you don't have to use cloth to like make fire or something.
Right.
That would be terrifying.
So this one was fun because I was like, what do I do? Which side am I? I'm supposed to get over there towards the door, but what do I do?
See, and we were like, it seems like there's stuff in this tent, but my friend didn't want to like blow up the rats to get it because that's so resource intensive.
Right.
And I don't know if there's a curiosity or something in there. We just missed it because we decided we couldn't figure out the best way to get in there.
Right.
Because the light is lit, and we'd have to like pay to put out the light, then pay to move the rats, then pay to light the light again.
Yeah, I was really just like, I don't want to be just. There's a lot of stuff, and then I'd also have to do stuff on the other side as well.
It's true.
So it was like, it just looks like a lot of just resources that I did not want to engage in.
In the same way that I was like, well, there's like a workbench over there, but my friend is like, look, we could just go to the house and be done with it.
Right?
Which is sort of the discussion we were having here of going, so are we going after all those far things or not
what
so
are
much?
we doing? Because it was also like, because I was really just like stumped going, wait, what? There's stuff over there on the other side of the fence, and there's stuff over here? Bah! What do I do? This was really confusing. Like, I was just like, I don't see how to do this other than like, I guess turn lights out, get maybe the odorous over here on the right-hand side to shove them all the way back in the tent, but that would like make it so that they were in the way, and I was just like, this sucks.
Also, they can't go all the way back there because there's light and they'll only go so far.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it has been interesting to watch her go from, you know, basically scared child to hardened killer.
Yeah, Amicia is just like, it's so sad, and you kind of go, oh baby.
It is a really rough time, to be perfectly honest. Like, this game is a little intense with the sort of psychology behind it. And like I mentioned in a comment recently, I'm just like, there's this really strong experience
Could have
between
killed me. They're
Oh,
already
yay!
dead.
They're dead! And, oh god,
I already
killed
have
them.
enough blood on my
Right?
hands.
Oh, and then this is just messed
Oh
up.
my god. This is
My
weird.
friend was panicking also at this
My
point, going,
home.
"Ah, the door won't close behind you!" Because we were worried, but I was
There's a
just...
body over there. No. No, please.
Amicia, we can stop. Find another way.
No. I have to see.
Oh, and this was
dear.
just like, I was like, what is this? This
I know,
is so
like these mountains of
Alien meets
what?
mold.
This
Alien
is-
meets mold prototype, because this is so weird looking. Like,
We've pretty much decided
God.
that this stuff is an insane fungus that the rats like.
Uh-huh.
Or that it grows on them and also on the ground to some degree.
Right.
But there was some level of being like, there's no light anywhere and we are afraid. But yeah, initially when we walked through here, I was like, oh my god, and now they're gonna come running through the gate.
Right.
And that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But like, this is so much worse when we have sound.
yeah. Oh, this is
Also,
is
this
terrible.
whole thing looks insane how organized it is. And
I
there's these giant
know.
furrows and things.
Ugh, it's so wild looking.
Also going, how did so much of this grow in just a couple of days?
Is he your father?
Oh, and I also was like, how did it set up like this is what I want to know. Like,
Yeah.
really, how did this work? I think it's just like, they just eat him.
I'm also just like, why was he left there before?
Oh,
And then we get instructed that they can now take out light. Because that's clearly an expositional thing.
reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I'm
I was
glad
like,
he
this-
knows how to get rid of them. He's just like, oh yeah, insane whirling rat dervishes. Here's what you do.
Yeah,
I
I guess
appreciate
I-
sometimes that you are the only useful person in the world with your sling, and nobody else
Oh, I was like, whoa.
has any skills at all. But like, yeah, the rat-nados, like it's not a sharknado, it's a
It's a
rat-nado.
rat-nado? Yeah.
They were a little creepy and stunning to us. We're like, holy freaking crap.
Holy freaking super crap.
But we have now confirmed,
Is it over?
I think,
Yes.
that these are not rats
At
at
all.
all.
Alive.
Yeah.
They are some
We'll
other
celebrate later.
thing.
We need to
Yeah,
get to
it's
the
a
chamber.
little
That
wild.
window up there.
Thankfully, they're actually acting insane, and these people are recognizing that they are insane and going, this is not how rats are.
Right.
Because normal rats exist at, all times and stuff.
And they are not nearly as messed up as this.
Yeah. But I'm like, why did
At
they
all.
wait to
Don't
eat,
worry.
your
I'll
dad
lead the
and
way.
such like that? It just doesn't make any sense.
I.
I'm just waiting for him to get eaten because we don't walk correctly this whole time.
Oh God, yeah, no, I can't. I'm
You're
like,
like,
it's
Lucas!
the most nerve-wracking damn thing to have him hanging back there, and you're just like, and Lucas is gonna lose a foot, and
Yeah.
then he'll lose a leg, and then he'll lose his other foot, and then he's gonna lose.
And then we'll just wear him as a backpack, and this
Yeah.
game is horrifying. And,
And
it's
he'll be
fine.
like, you have a child back.
Oh God.
Backpack for children.
And my friend puts it in there. I'm like, don't put it there. You need it.
And I
then
was
he
like-
runs off. I'll explore things. I'm like, shit, Lucas, come back.
Wow.
Please, Lucas, do not be an idiot. You've gotten us killed too many times.
Of course.
But I'm also like, yeah, like how did they even fathom leaving people at this estate like they left the guards standing here?
Right.
In reference to this much stuff, this much weird, magic fungus, alien hive being built up here at all.
Right.
Father! They took his body.
I mean,
Well,
They took it from me. I should have buried him. I should have.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
the
I'm so sorry, Amicia.
rats don't
Please,
really
let's-
take bodies.
Rest in peace.
apparently they do.
Yeah.
IDK.
Like, and again, I sort of suspected that these rats are essentially a vehicle for something, but I'm still, what I find fascinating about this whole game that I actually mentioned recently is that it is basically a mystery. Like, it's a horror and it's creepy and there's puzzles to solve, but at the core of it, it's a mystery. We don't know if this is magic or mysticism or science or what it is. We don't know if her brother has a completely natural, like, real-world disease, like poisoning of the blood,
Right.
and people just have a ton of superstition, and these rats, they're going to explain that basically this is behavior of insane rats, and they've just extrapolated a little bit of fantasy from it.
Right.
Because all the rats are basically sick. Or if it's going to be some huge supernatural sort of fantasy solution. Mm-hmm. And
Which
that's-
there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes
God.
what you have as
Bodies.
a child during a plague, this is your huge supernatural sort of explanation.
It can also be their perception of it too, but I'm like,
Yeah.
the body's smushed up into the walls. I'm like, rats can't just do that on their own and haul big walls and create, haul people up onto walls
Alicia,
and
that body was
plaster them
normal.
against
It's one
things.
of our servants, but his body.
Yes.
I
I-
am
Guards were
very
eaten alive.
He wasn't.
interested
Why?
in whatever
There
it
must be
is
a
that keeps the
reason.
rats off
If
bodies.
only I knew.
Yeah, it's a little wild.
Great break. Its aftershocks continue to ripple through time.
I'm just like, because that would be so useful. Like, you suddenly just have this rat repellent on your body. God, this is so creepy. So creepy.
So uncomfortable. You're like, this is a place where we were, and I didn't realize where we were exactly at the time. I actually had a minute where I was like, oh shit, this is the house.
This is your estate.
So
These
heavily
are your
changed,
servants.
y'all. Look at this.
Yeah.
Like, this is also mind-boggling for me, so you have to kind of forgive me. I'm not talking much, because I'm like, as much as I stare at the game, I'm mostly in panic mode, trying to make sure we don't die.
Yeah, my friend doesn't actually get to look at it much at all. So I kind of thought this would be fascinating, even though it was like, we usually just redo an episode if we lose the audio.
Right.
I was just saying, but in this case, because the autosave we couldn't. And so this is kind of a fascinating experience for both of us, because I'm not trying to encourage my friend to not die. And we just both kind of get to look at stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, the amount of stuff that has built up, it really does suggest fungus, because the rate of growth is insane. Because again, she's only been gone for a few days.
Right.
And this was her clean, beautiful house at the beginning of the story.
Oh yeah, and now it's just like, ooh.
Yeah, like now it is also like, where did they get all these other bodies? Because there's so many skeletons there.
Avoiding them. What on earth is going on here?
I don't know, and that's the thing, actually, Amicia, that we all hope to find out. At least, like, I know sometimes having some mystery is nice, so sometimes games don't, like, honestly, like, nobody's required to finish the story. You're not required to answer all the questions. You're not required, actually, to really answer anything. That's just a social expectation a lot of people have, of going, well, if I'm gonna do this,
Yes.
you must say it. Oh, and we gotta say,
He's fighting alongside King Philip.
aha, we have an item.
He was a great knight.
Then he won't be forgotten.
Yeah, that's why you wanted to be a knight, because your dad was.
Right.
All right, here we go.
So here's the dadu. You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Okay, the Harnoy Helmet, an armor set designed for knights, allowing them to mount their steeds while ensuring almost complete protection of their bodies. Contrary to plate or ceremonial armor, it weighs no more than 20 kilograms and hinders its wearer's movements only slightly, making racing possible and greatly facilitating drawn-out confrontations. Oh, and yeah, I actually did mention that true functional armor that isn't like ceremonial shit
It's very lightweight
it
and
really
very flexible.
is. There's actually I think like an entire YouTube channel, or at least a couple of videos that I saw at one point that were really dedicated to showing how much movement you actually have in real armor.
It was like doing sports and doing like
Here we are.
like
It's up
athletics in armor.
Uh-huh.
Like this is so insane.
It's
Though.
so wild. Yeah, so if somebody's like, oh, armor is the worst, most heaviest thing ever, and you're like, no.
Because
They had
honestly-
to usually like ride horses, or they would need to walk in that shit, and that's just dumb.
Also, like people couldn't do actual real fights. Like also,
Yeah.
what part of the house was this? Like, did you just break off the stairs here?
Uh-huh.
Because, and then how did that happen? Was there like a massive earthquake here?
Right.
Also, this was terrifying because there was suddenly no light at all.
Right.
And we're just like, holy crap, there is darkness.
I was also afraid of just,
Oh.
and then I stepped backwards. I didn't.
Yeah, and then my friend just died. It was
Wah!
fine.
I was afraid of that, but it was also just like I didn't want to run any more giant waves of rats. Like
Yes.
waves of rats. That is the weirdest thing I think I've seen so far,
Rat
which is saying
nados.
a lot in this game.
Because there's been a lot of weird in here.
Ah, yes, the tiny arrow windows, they're great fun.
And then also like a whole wall of the
Whoa,
house has fallen
look
down.
out.
Because this
They're
is the
all
hallway
converging here.
upstairs. Like they're
Ah.
all converging here? It does not seem to be the case, but they definitely are behaving weirdly.
Yeah,
They're
see,
just
I was
a
like,
weird
oh, we're
rat
dead.
pathway.
We're so dead.
Because there's no light. Like, I know they're showing moonlight there, but it's not deterring the rats.
At all.
They're just doing something
They're
weird.
going towards his room.
Aye.
The potions for Hugo must be in there.
I was like, yep,
we
not
hope.
going that way.
And then we don't know. Yeah,
Nope,
God,
nope,
these
nope,
rats
nope,
are so creepy and uncomfortable. And where they just aren't sometimes, especially when the rat fungus, which is just what I'm going to call it from now.
Right, the
like rat
rungus.
mound rungus. Is just everywhere. There's this real strong experience of just going, they're going to come get me at any second.
Uh-huh, because the fact that they're not just immediately butchering
Look at
us is just
those
wild.
spots.
Simple infusions. Not strong enough.
I love how
There must be
knowledgeable he is
others.
about this.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, nope, it's got to be something stronger. I know this. I'm also like, your master taught you a hell of a lot. Not that kids can't learn at a young age, but I'm like, I respect him.
Oh,
Lucas
yeah.
might get us killed all the time and be a total pain, but he is well educated.
He's like, I got it. It's okay. Mm-hmm. You're like, you're more than just a glorified
So
backpack.
creepy.
Oh god.
All the dripping is so bad.
So alien, you guys, in the
Yes,
skull that
it's
was
Hugo's
leaning
room.
over the like, wow.
Let's go.
There's so much stuff that's just messed up about this. Like, what is going on?
Again, yeah, like there were so many bodies just rammed into this stuff downstairs going, you never had that many people on your estate. That's so many soldiers, basically.
Ooh.
Oh, dripping.
Yeah.
Oh, dripping.
And I'm amazed that nobody reacts to that, like the blooping when we've gone even through the
there are
gallows.
the bots.
So
God, I have wanted her to react
Everything-
to the ooze just pouring
Everything's
onto her.
like it was before.
it is, and it's really weird.
That's not it.
See, if you
Neither's
just lived
this.
here, it'd be fine.
No.
Lucas.
Or these.
Why hasn't his room been touched?
No. It's not here.
I don't know, because I'm
Still
sure
no
they've eaten
luck.
him before, so it's not him
No.
keeping them back.
These are normal standard potions. Your mother must have been working on a more complex elixir. There has to be something else. Another place, another room.
Did I
You
know?
can't just make an opus magnum like that. She must have a laboratory somewhere.
I don't know. I don't see where.
Laurentius, he built his laboratory away from prior
Yeah,
knowledge.
okay.
So your mother must have also.
She told me nothing. I never
But
saw
that's
her.
it. Isn't there a place where she didn't want you to go? I don't know. Some place she protected.
I love
The old Roman
that
ruins.
they're actually
She didn't
interrupting
want
each
me
other
to go
here.
there.
Roman ruins.
Like it's a
Yes,
more realistic
definitely
conversation.
an idea
Yeah.
from an
And
album.
like he's
Exactly.
panicking.
Where are they?
The
Yeah.
garden. Let's go.
I actually kind of always looked at this as going like, I appreciate like the supernatural element that you could add into this, but like part of me was kind of going like, hang on, you know, like what if this is just sort of like it's the preservation of childhood kind of thing?
And the thing
like,
is,
and
it
again,
could be like this could be her essentially being an unreliable narrator
Uh-huh.
and showing the enormity of how it looks and feels to her.
right?
But like, yeah, the interesting idea that his room would be untouched
I missed the chest.
is
Disappointing.
fascinating.
gone?
I
No,
didn't even
they're
notice it
regrouping.
either.
You mean?
Dang.
And then also, I didn't notice before because they were talking so quickly, but Amicia literally described that her mom wanted her to stay out of the garden. I'm like, the entire garden. That's what your mom wanted you to stay out of.
Yep, the whole gardenia.
And I'm like, that's a little wild. Also,
Aye.
this would be much spookier if you were playing it like by yourself in a dark room.
Oh yeah.
Because this is sort of, not only the sound effects are pretty intense, but the experience, I mean, obviously pretty dark.
To the right. Come on. Yes. I'm coming.
Because, you know, there's fire there for reasons.
Reasons?
I'm also like, how are these things still lit?
I'll let you move. You deal with the rest.
Those things are so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh god.
terrified.
I was like,
Got
wait, I don't know
needles.
where we're going. We're gonna die. Lucas, what are we doing? Oh my god.
Lucas,
this is
help me.
horrifying.
Lucas, oh my god,
Ah!
Lucas.
Lucas, you dork.
I love how the crushed fireplace is just there on the floor. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole house is so destroyed. But there's a suggestion that people have been in it recently, keeping up the fires and stuff, and going, why were they even in this house wandering around, fueling the fires and stuff like that?
Right?
It's insane.
It's sort of bonkers, actually, when you really look at it. But, you know, I guess, actually, this is where we're going to end. But since we're basically out of time, so
Yeah.
thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We have some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And thank you for joining us for this fascinating experience. And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!